So we're preparing for this event, and 2 days ago, or a couple of days ago, on Saturday, I'm in the office, and this guy comes in, and it's busy, and I'm at the store, and my guys pull me out of the office, and they say, "Hey, Mickey, you got to see this." It's like, what are you talking about? I said, "I'm busy." No. You have to see this. So I come out, and there's a young man who's standing there, and I'm saying, and I take a look at what he's got, and he says, I go, you know what you got there? He goes, "Why, yes, I do." So I asked him to tell him this story, and then I asked him if he would come here this evening. So I'm very happy to be able to introduce to you a young man who came all the way from the coast to bring this, and that's what's in the box. So I'm going to introduce this gentleman. His name is J.J. Cooper. Why don't you come on up here real quick?
How y'all doing? You know, I grew up around music my whole life. My dad I'm from West Virginia originally, and that's where my dad was from, and he was into bluegrass, country, rock and roll, everything. And, he was very poor growing up out in the country. And he had this job at a filling station. They're not gas stations there, they're filling stations. So he was working, extra hours doing everything he could to save up enough money, because every country boy in America wanted a Gibson Les Paul. That was his dream to own. And finally one day, he had the money, and the local hardware, there was no music stores anywhere around there. You got your guitars from a hardware store. And that's what he did. He took all of his savings and went down there, and they had ordered him one and had it shipped into West Virginia just for him. And, we traveled all over when I was young to music festivals all over. Music's always been a part of my life. And when I was 12, he passed away, a month before my 13th birthday. And he had pretty much put the order in to the whole family that nobody was to have this guitar but me, because I was the music lover in the family. And it's an honor and a privilege to own this instrument. I've known the name Les Paul since I could talk. I knew who Les Paul was, and it just, this is a really nice event, and I brought this guitar in. I hope y'all enjoy seeing it. There's not very many like it, and that's all I can say. Thank you very much. It's a 1956 gold top, completely original, and it's a beautiful, beautiful instrument. And it's, like I said, it's priceless to me. It means the world to me. So I'm glad y'all can appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Just like he said, this is a all original 1956 Les Paul gold top. Original P90 pickups in it. It's got the original tailpiece. I've actually been lucky enough to be able to play it. I would say conservatively this thing is worth $75,000 as you're looking at it right there. So go ahead, for those of you who like guitars, take a picture. I told you, Larry, that you would love this gold top. With that, I would like to bring up a legend in his own right, a guitar legend who has played the world over, and I would actually like to get him up to say a few words, Mr. Boom Boom himself, Mr. Pat Travers.
All right. this 56 brings back a lot of memories. I was really surprised when it came out. I didn't think it would affect me that much. When I was about 5 or 6, I'm from Canada originally. We lived in northern Ontario in a little town named North Bay. And when I was about 5 or 6, I'm pretty sure it was around Christmas time, and my mother's brother, my Uncle Henry, we call him my Uncle Hank, he and still is a guitar player. He's almost 80, and he still plays sessions and gigs. And he came over, and he had a 54 gold top Les Paul with a Bigsby Tails piece on it and a little combo amp. And I just, seeing this gold thing, that was just incredible. And then, playing it. So that's the first time I ever saw an electric guitar at all in person, and seeing a Les Paul. So eventually we moved from there to Ottawa, Ontario, where my Uncle Hank lived and had a music store called the Blue Note on Bank Street. And, I wanted to play, and I wanted to be a guitarist, and I worked at his shop on Saturdays, and then started my own band. But I didn't have my own electric guitar. I used to borrow them. This was ridiculous. My uncle owned a music store, and I didn't have my own guitar. So finally, when it was just around my 15th birthday in April, and I talked my mother into borrowing some money from the bank, getting a loan, and co-signing on a loan, and I got a 1968 gold top, just like that, with P90s, and that was my first electric guitar when I was 15. So that was pretty cool, and unfortunately, about a year later, I was already starting to play in bars, and we were playing at a bar in Hull, Quebec, and it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was in the winter, and it was cold, and I wanted to go, and went out to the car, and the other guys didn't follow, and I leaned my case up, which was my uncle's 1954 case, by the way. I bought the guitar, but I couldn't afford a case. He let me use his case, and it got stolen. I went back in, came out 5 minutes later, and it was gone. I was so upset. They took me home to my mommy, and about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I knocked on the door, and my mom's, sweetie, what's wrong? I'm like, I can't talk. And I really did break down and cry. And so I said, right, I'm never going to let another guitar get in my heart. I'm just not going to stop. I've been beating the crap out of them ever since. But and I've seen a lot of really nice Les Pauls, and been lucky enough to play. Well, Ted Nugent, when we were doing a show with Ted, and I only have one guitar with me, my Les Paul, my double cutaway, which was made in Kalamazoo, where Jeff DeHollander worked. And I broke a string, and Ted's tech said, all I got's this 59 Les Paul. Don't tell him you're using it. And I went, okay. And I broke a string on that, or something happened. I forget what. Anyway, Ted had it. He says, oh, yeah, it was in my basement. I didn't even know I had it. So he's got like this 59 Les Paul that's, probably worth $250,000. And then not too long ago, we saw Cheap Trick here in town, and Ricky Nelson, he loves to come across the stage with every one of his Les Pauls and go, you want it? You want it? He's got about $2 million worth of guitars in the first 5 songs that he plays. But they are just, I don't know, there's something about them. Don't ever drop them, because they'll break. Which everybody knows. My double cutaway broke there 5 times. So anyway, but they're wonderful guitars. I think some people find them a little, if you really want to tear into it, you could put as much muscle as you want into it, and it actually does get louder, and it's unlike some other guitars, they make Fenders, they have a limit, but Les Paul is the most powerful guitar ever made, definitely. And can I play this thing for a little bit? That would be great.